Welcome back. I'm Paul Chartier. This is Heart of Gold. We have a new organization in town, the Lexington Tennis Club Smart Shots.
Correct.
Grace Trimble is the founder.
Yes, sir.
Joanna Wallens, the executive director.
Correct.
And you also do some things at the tennis club, subtly and humbly. What do you do there?
I'm actually the general manager there. So I started off as the junior program director and kind of worked my way up, and now I kind of manage the whole place.
And we'll get into your path in a minute. Grace, you played tennis at UK,
Yes, sir.
and you're from Winchester.
Mm-hmm.
And what grade are you in? What class at UK?
I'm a sophomore.
And you obviously love tennis.
Yes, sir.
Do you play with a bigger racket at UK, or is this part of the junior program at
I think,
UK?
is this your size
This-
racket?
My size,
Maybe?
my size maybe, but I use two of them. And
Little bit.
dexterous. How did you come up with the idea of Smart Shots?
Well, this idea evolved when I was 17 years old. I was a junior tennis player, and I just saw that people in my life have given me so much, like my parents and my lovely coach, Joe. And I wanted to find a way to give back to the community. And the idea of Smart Shots evolved. And our program is geared towards taking underprivileged elementary age children and teaching them quick start tennis with these rackets and low compression balls and tutoring them in their studies.
We've seen young ladies get involved in running groups, and the boys have their thing. But for tennis, there's an impression of tennis of it being, you know.
Yes.
So you're plugging into the community, and how are you finding and identifying the kids in the community to get into your program?
Well, what I did was I partnered up with the wonderful organization Urban Impact. I'm sure you've heard of it. So a 17-year-old girl wasn't transporting elementary age students to and from school and back to their houses, and they gave me a group of children to affect and a site to host my program. And it was March of 2010 that I started this, and we started out with 8 kids in the gym of Consolidated Baptist Church, teaching them quick start tennis and tutoring them, and the organization has grown to 3 sites, and we've worked with Urban Impact, and now we're affecting over 80 kids on a weekly basis.
And as part of the educational program, you said there's a sports component, but education.
Yes, sir.
Do you have someone teaching language like English?
No, we don't really have that aspect. What we really focus on is reading and math. That seems to be the areas where the kids struggle the most in school, and especially through the help of Marcus Patrick. He is a wonderful, wonderful guy on staff with Urban Impact, and he is on a first-name basis with all these kids' teachers and understands where they struggle in school and where they need help, so we kind of affect those areas where Marcus gives us direction.
Joe, you came up through the ranks and were a internationally ranked tennis player.
Yeah.
And how did you end up in Lexington?
I actually quit playing because I actually had a blood clot in my leg, and so I wasn't really able to play anymore. And I was teaching down in Florida, and someone called me and said, there's a director's position here in Lexington. Would you like to take it? I'm like, I guess, yeah. And I've stayed here now, so that's how I got here.
And when you rose up through the ranks, was there anything like this to help you outside of tennis, or it was just tennis?
No, it was just tennis. I mean, you know, I was at Bollettieri, so we had the academics, and if anyone knows tennis, they kind of go, oh yeah, Bollettieri's not very good academics, which is fine. But, you know, one thing that I like about this program too, and I love, is that there's so many life skills in tennis that you can teach the kids too. And through USTA, it's called an NJTL, National Junior Tennis and Learning Program. They have lots of curriculums available to us too. So this year we've actually incorporated a life skills part of it, where we're actually teaching these kids eye contact, shaking hands, speaking, because a lot of these kids, you know, look away from you and don't want to talk. They don't even know how to say hello. So we're incorporating that this year too.
And how many total kids do you have involved in the program?
We have 80, around 80 I'd say at this point, but we actually just finished up our Christmas program where the lovely members of Lexington Tennis Club donated gifts for over 120 kids. So we provided Christmas for a lot of families this year.
And they start at what age in your program and go to what age?
Well, we have as young as first grade who are actively involved in the program, but we have a couple 3- and 4-year-olds due to Joe's kids
Proteges.
and Marcus's kids who enjoy the tennis part.
What was your inspiration for this?
I am truly passionate about tennis, and I absolutely adore being around kids, and this kind of just melded the two. I don't know.
And your degree is going to be in what?
Political science.
Okay. It's got to be in something, and
Fair
it might
enough.
even be in education. So, Grace, what's your long-term plan for this program?
My long-term goal is to expand this program to not just limit it to Lexington, Kentucky, but maybe bring it to all over the state. I've had some wonderful opportunities to speak with individuals who have programs of this kind in New Jersey, and their operating budget is $1.2 million a year. And that would be a very lofty goal, but I gotta set goals high.
Well, the great thing about tennis, you don't need a lot of equipment. You don't need a lot of people. You need a court, a net, some balls, and a couple rackets. You're good to go.
Well, especially now with the new way that USTA is doing it with 10 under tennis, you actually really don't need a court anymore. You need this size racket, this size ball, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do on, over a caution tape. You don't even need that.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
why they're trying to bring the level down. So, it's not expensive to go out and play. That's the nice part.
And to incorporate education with this, all the money you get is good, and you can do a lot of good, but to start out, I mean, it's kind of, not in a bad way, very basic in what you're doing for all these kids.
It is. And in order to get to those high goals that I might have, I think we had to start out very basic. I mean, we started with a very small number of kids, and we've just kind of builded, and here we are now.
From your universe of being a professional and being a Bolletary and seeing the education and tennis brought together down there, and now here, is some of that experience that you have valuable to this? Can you advise and tutor Grace in what's going on, or how's this working
I think
for
it's
you?
the other way around. No, I mean, it's just brought something different to me. When I came here, I was like, okay, I wanted like a tennis academy, and I wanted all these kids to, go do lots of tournaments and play. And as I said, now it's teaching life skills through tennis. And I know, I didn't go, I hate to say this, I didn't go to college, but I traveled around the world. By the time I was, 19, I'd pretty much been everywhere in the world. So I've had a lot of life skills. I've been with a lot of, I was signed with IMG, so I had to be with a lot of influential people and be able to present myself to them and speak to them. So, it's really important for the kids. And there's a couple of really good stories. We've got a couple of kids right now that actually have done extra, and the tennis club has scholarshiped them into programs at the club. And so if we can get people to bring them here after school, they actually get incorporated in our program. And it's great to see that too. And one of the boys, we had a mentor last year, and he played at Henry Clay. And this little boy wrote an essay, and he said, I want to be just like Ben and play high school tennis. And that's a great thing, and hopefully we can help him get there to do that.
The previous guest that was on was talking about he being a dropout and getting his GED, and the kids that you have that may not be on the path family-wise to look at education, but by bringing them to people like Ben,
Yep.
and helping tutor them and mentor them, I mean, you're affecting our community and the next generation of people.
Yes, and we believe, or at least I believe very strongly in the fact that getting a hold of these kids while they're very young can prevent straying from the path when they're older, and getting a hold of them and helping them to realize at a very young age that they can do anything. And tennis is not our ultimate goal for these kids. We do not
It's the
expect
door.
them to become professional tennis players. It is just a tool. And that is wonderful if kids can, be on scholarship at LTC. That's what, I'm passionate about. But just using tennis to teach them character that they're not getting at home and they're not getting in school.
Character, manners,
Yes, sir.
rules, structure,
Work ethic.
being polite. Not that they're not getting that, but it's just going to be refined and channeled to this. How do their parents feel about this? This tennis thing's going on, and these kids want to play tennis now, and their parents may not even know what a racket looks like.
Some of them are okay with it. I had a parent during our Christmas shopping come up to me and say, hey, are you the one I speak to about getting my daughter in for some tennis lessons? And she said, I want my child to be active. So I said, hey, call me. Can you get her there? And, we'll outfit her with a racket and shoes and, outfits and, see where she goes with it. I mean, there's enough people in the tennis community that like to help, and it's a good community to help. So those are the nice stories, if they want to do that.
The people at the tennis club, and this is a great tennis community, they're affluent enough maybe to adopt. Is there like an adoption program with kids and sponsoring them?
I think when we get to that point where we've got some kids that want to do it, we can definitely do that. I mean, with some USDA memberships, and if they get to that level, we've got enough families that travel to tournaments that would definitely, adopt the kids to take them with them.
And I would think with your connections and background, to bring people in and give a clinic to some of these kids, they may not know who James Blake is or whomever, but when they watch him on TV, that's kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of moving that direction to take bigger steps within the community. Now that we have a foundation and we're getting our name out there and even more supporters other than within the tennis community, I think we can do some bigger things like that.
You're right. This is not about tennis, but tennis is the vehicle to blast these kids out. And when companies look to relocate to Kentucky, the number one thing they look at is education. And if you can take 120 kids and every year magnify that and have it grow bigger and bigger, this is going to become an even better community for companies that want to locate here.
So
Did you realize what you're doing?
I didn't, and the kind of crazy thing is I've had so many blessings come out of this that were completely unexpected. I actually spoke at the US Open last year, which was a wonderful experience, meeting Martina Navratilova, just all these wonderful tennis players. It was a dream.
You know this. Professional athletes can get caught up in their own world of me. But now to be able to give back and share this gift with other people, doesn't it make you feel good?
It does. I think we're providing so much more than presents or tennis or an education to these kids. We're providing hope, which is something that no one else really can.
Before we go, let's give the website and the phone number.
It's ltctennis.com, and the number is 272-4546.
And for people that want to contribute, get involved as a mentor, get involved as a volunteer, what else can they do? And we've got about 30 seconds. What else can they do?
They can contact Jo at the Lexington Tennis Club, and she will point them in the right direction.
And that's the phone number.
Yes,
Was
sir.
right.
Okay. Thanks. This is like the epicenter of something great going on. So thanks for thinking of this, and thanks for being partners.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. I'm Paul Chartier. We'll be back next month on Heart of Gold. Thanks for watching.